All right, so we're talking about what chart markups, identifying how the candles or how the market forms, right? The candle formation. So this is what the green candle, which is the buy candle. This is the red one, which is the sell candle. So what I was saying is the buy candles, right? The market opens at the bottom, right? Closes at the top, because in a buy candle, this is what is happening. The market is what? The market is buying, right? So what's the direction of the market from bottom to the top? Right, the market actually opened here, bought all the way to the top, and it closed here. Now, guess what? For a sell candle, what's the market direction? It starts from where? It starts from the top, and it's selling all the way down, right? That's for a sell candle. So now, where do you think the open is going to be? Right? For the sell candle, where do you think we're going to have our open? Sell, where are we going to have the open? Guys, can you actually hear me? Only Emmanuel is responding. So for the sell, we're actually going to have our open at the top, right? So we're going to have the open at the very, very top, right? So this is the open. This is the open. This is the open, right? Now we have the close where? We actually have the close over here, this flat bottom. So we have open here, right? Then we actually have close. I'm just going to do this, then we'll go straight into marking up. Then I'll just show you guys how to identify the best entries real quick. So for buys, since the market is moving upwards, this is the open of the candle, right? It opens here and it closes at the top. So once the market closes at the top, if the next candle was to be a red candle, what's going to happen? It's going to open at exactly the same level, right? It's going to open at exactly the same level that this one closed. Do you get? It's going to open at the same level, right? It opened here, it sold all the way down, right? If it closed here, guess where the next candle is going to open? It's going to open on this same level. It's going to open on this same level. So if it was a buy candle, if the market was to buy after this red candle, what's going to happen? It will open here, right? The market will open here and start buying again. It opened there and start buying again. If it was a buy candle, right? Opens at the same level, buys all the way to the top. So now for the buy candle, this was the low of the candle, right? And this was the high. Why for the sell? It's the same thing, right? This is still the high, and this is what? This is the low, right? The only thing that doesn't change is the high, right? These are both highs, right? Let me do this. These are both highs. These are both highs. These are both highs. So for the same thing goes for what? For the lows. These are also both what? Lows. This week. Right? So this is how the market simply forms. Right? So now, when we're actually doing our markups, we are supposed to mark up the lows, right? We're marking up the lows, we're marking up the opens, we're marking up the close, we're marking up the highs. So if I actually wanted to mark up the live market right now, right? So when we're doing our markup, we are marking up the daily time frame, right? We're marking up the daily time frame. So this is the daily time frame. This is the D, right? So that means every single candle here represents 1 day, right? Every single candle represents 1 day. So what we're doing is we are marking up, like I said, the low, the open, we're marking up the close, we're marking up the high. So what I'm doing is I'm getting my horizontal line, right, from here. Getting my horizontal line from this area, right? I place it on the last candle low. We are starting with the last candle. We are doing the last candle and the previous candle. Only last candle, previous candle. So I'm marking up the low, right? I dropped the horizontal line here. That's what I just did. Let me zoom in, right? So we are able to see what I'm doing. Look at, I'm making it big so we're able to see what I'm doing. So I dropped it on the low, right? Now what I'm doing now, I'll drop it on the body, the open of the green candle. So I get my horizontal line again and I drop it on the body here. So I'm actually going to do something again. Now I'm going to do it where? On the top. Now guess why I am not doing the body. This market is actually in progress. It's moving, right? It's not like this candle that has closed since. If you actually see, we have this green line here, right? That's to tell you that the market is still moving. So I can't actually mark a moving candle, right? I can't mark the moving top because this candle is buying and you can see it's moving. I can't come and mark here and say, okay, this is where I want to drop my markup. I can't do this because this is where the market is currently at, right? So I can't do this. Now what I do is what? I go to the previous one. I come to the previous candle, right? This red candle. So I'm doing the same thing. I'm marking the low, right? Now, if you notice, when I drop the horizontal line on the low of this buying candle, it also corresponded with the low of what? Of this selling candle, right? Or the close of the selling candle. If you look over to the right left-hand side, you're going to see that this markup is respecting. You see that this same candle opened at this bottom. You see that this one sold and what? It respected this area. That's already your support and resistance playing out, right? So I want to also do something else. I want to mark up the top of this previous candle. And I also want to do what? I want to also mark up the high of this selling candle, right? So I drop it here. So once I drop it on the high of the selling candle, guess what? We are done with what? We are done with the daily time frame. Coach, what if the last candle buys to the top of the week? If it actually buys to the top of the week, I don't know, then we can actually modify our markup. But currently, right now, this is where the daily candle is. Do you actually get? So I'm done with what? I'm done with marking up these two candles. Guys, mind you, these are the candles we're talking about. Let me actually do this so that we see what I'm talking about, right? These are the candles I'm talking about. These two candles here, inside the rectangle, these two. Those are the candles we're concentrating on. So don't ignore these other candles, right? Focus on these two. So when I'm done with the daily time frame, I go to the 1 hour, right? So I go to the 1 hour. So when I come to the 1 hour, I'm doing absolutely the same thing, right? So on the 1 hour time frame, I'm doing what? The candle high, the candle low, and what? The body as well, right? So in the 1 hour time frame, we'll have these two candles. So I'm marking up what? I'm actually marking up the body of this candle, right? I'm marking up the wick of this present candle. Then now I'm also coming to the previous candle. I'm doing the same thing. I'm marking up the body. I'm marking up the wick of the candle, right? This is what I'm actually doing. Then now, if I actually zoom in a bit, you can actually see that the previous candle has a small wick here, right? Actually had a small wick all the way here. So what I can do is I can equally mark that out, right? And this is it. Now, I'm not going to mark this bottom. Why? Because this is a selling candle, right? And it's currently moving. I can't come and drop my horizontal line here because this candle is actually moving. This is a live market. This is where the market is presently. It's selling currently. Remember when we were marking up the daily, right? This was what happened. In the daily, this was where I couldn't mark up. I couldn't mark up the body because this is where the market is. I can't actually mark this up. So on the 1 hour time frame, we are done marking up. We did the week, we did the body, we did the body, we did the week, just like that. Why do you have to mark the top week of the present day candle? Because this is the highest point today's market has been, right? This is the highest point the market has been today. Today, this is the highest point it has gotten to. Now, this is the lowest point the market got to. The previous day, this is the lowest point the market got to. And this was the highest point the market got to. So I have to what? To mark those areas to reference those points when I'm marking up the other time frames. Do you get? That's what I'm simply doing. So look at this. Look at this. So remember, I couldn't mark here the body, but see, it actually got to this bottom, right? You see, I actually got to this bottom and started rejecting, right? So I can decide to put a horizontal line here because it created a wick here, right? It came here and rejected. So this place could be a possible area of support. If you look to the right, left-hand side, you also see the market came here and rejected. You also see that we have a wick. A wick here means it came here and what? Rejected this area. This is another candle that came here and rejected this area. So this place is also a nice support, right? I can mark up the wick, but what? I don't mark up the body, the bottom, because this market is in progress. You can't actually tell what is actually going to do. I saying it came here and rejected. So I have finished marking up for the 1 hour. So after the 1 hour, all I'm doing is I go over to the 15 minutes time frame, right? Now on the 15 minutes time frame, what do you notice? The place I drew this horizontal line for the 1 hour, the markets came here, tested this place, and it's already shooting up, right? So if I want to do the markup again, what am I doing? I've done for the week of this candle. Now I do for the bottom of the candle. Now the bottom of this candle also corresponded with what? The bottom of this, with the bottom of the previous day. So now I'm doing what? The top of the previous day. Right? Please, if you're unmuted, kindly mute your your mic. So I'm doing the top of the previous day. I'm doing the top of the previous day. This is it. The body, right? Of this. Somebody is unmuted. All right, so the top of this previous day, I did the bottom, we did the week here, I did the bottom. So you can see that the market came here. You can see this present green candle, right? The market came to this top and is rejecting. Now, if I draw a line here, if I draw a line here, this is what is going to happen. If I actually draw a line here, sorry. If I actually draw a line on the week now, you're actually going to notice something. At some point in the past, the market sold, hit this same area, and what? Rejected, started buying up, right? So this place is a good resistance. So all I simply do now is to go back to the 5 minutes time frame. The time frame we used to trade HFX, 5 minutes time frame. And this is my markup, right? Are you actually seeing that this is my markup? So easy, right? So you mark up the daily, you mark up the 1 hour, you mark up the 15 minutes, you mark up what else? The 5 minutes time frame, right? So now if I have my markups like this, what I can do is what? refer to my currency strength meter, right? So this is Euro USD. I come over to my currency strength meter. I refresh. Now I'm trying to see which currency is stronger, right? So you actually have that Euro is stronger than USD. So what are we supposed to be doing? If Euro is stronger than USD, the first currency is stronger than the second one, what are we supposed to do? Are we buying or are we selling? Are we actually buying or we're selling, right? So we're actually buying. That's what we're actually doing. So we're actually buying. So all I am doing is what? I'm referring to what? The right-hand side of my screen, right? So this line here, the price is what? 1.13432. So the price is what? 432. So I can actually say, okay, on my broker, 432, right? Let me actually take a buy for 3 minutes, since that is my support area, right? I can actually take a buy on that area, right? If you actually wanted to trade HFX, like with your naked chart, right? You enter a buy of 432 because this is actually a support area. Now, if the market comes below this area, where is the next best place to buy? Those of you asking for best entries, locating a best entry point. If the market comes below here, where can I buy from again? Look at the next support line, 429, right? So I have buy opportunities at 432 and 429, right? So we entered at 432, right? So the market is now at 436. Market is now at 436, although we are in profit, right? We are actually in profit. We are actually in profit. So this is how you can just mark up your chart. You can just mark up your chart. And what? If you want to combine it with candlestick confirmation, okay, I have a doji candle here, just like that, something like that. All these things are ways to actually what? To actually get your markups and how to actually get your markups, basically. This is how you do it. So now, Kevin Mo says what? Charting plus what? Strategy actually gives you a higher possibility of what? Of winning your trades, right? Charting plus what? Strategy gives you a higher probability of winning your trades. But guys, do you remember that in the beginning, when we're actually looking at the daily time frame, right? We actually saw that this was a very, very strong downtrend. This was a very, very strong downtrend. So there are two ways to actually do this, right? You want to actually consider the overall trend, right? The overall trend of USD, looking at from the daily time frame. Okay, it was a downtrend. So most people consider taking only sales on Euro USD. They only want to see USD stronger than Euro so that they can keep selling, right? So that's also another way you can look at it. You want to consider only sales since we are in a general downtrend. You don't want to actually go against the trend. You don't want to actually go against the trend. So even if you're buying, trust me, your buy is just going to be for a short term, right? It's just going to be short term. Look at what happened there. So I'm going to give us another example, and then we are going to include strategy to it. Right? I'm going to give us another example, and we include strategy. So you see, look at, even on the 5 minutes time frame, we are clearly on a downtrend. Look at, we are clearly on a downtrend, even on the 5 minutes time frame. This is a downtrend, right? Market sold, hit here, came down, right? Tried to buy, hit the trend line, kept selling, right? So there is no way, if you're actually a technical trader, you actually identify a downtrend and say, okay, I'm only taking sales, right? That is what you want to do. Let me actually check the currency strength, right? You can see that Euro is slightly stronger than USD by just 1 bar. And you know that when you're actually trading HFX, you want to actually consider, currencies that have a great difference, something like euro card, right? Euro has 4 bars, while the Canadian dollar has what? Just 1 bars, but not something like this. You can't trade euro 4 bars, you go trade odd, right? 4 bars. Now, so, okay, what if the base currency is higher than the quote currency? Should I still consider the trend? And that's exactly what I'm saying, right? That's exactly what I'm saying. Because if you look at this, right, okay, temporarily, euro was stronger than USD with just a bar, right, with just 1 bar. So we would have said, okay, this was supposed to buy, right? After all, yes, it bought for a while, and what happened? It still came in the same direction it's supposed to come. But look at the stochastic and RSI, right? When you're trading with Hourglass or market trap, the rule is that, okay, when the stochastic is at the green, you do what? It's set for a buy. When the RSI is at the green, it's set for a buy. Who's that? The trend is your friend. Always know this. Exactly. So most times, you just try to consider the trend. Let me actually show you guys something. If I turn on the CABRAL strategy, look at this purple EMA, right? Can you actually see that the market is now below the EMA? And once the market is below the EMA, it's considered as what? A downtrend, right? It's now considered as a downtrend. While the market was above the EMA, all these areas, yes, this is a clear uptrend, right? This was a clear uptrend. From here, it went up higher, high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low, just like that. It was just creating a series of high, just like that. So market is now below the EMA. Like there's a trend line here, and it's respecting this trend line. It's actually respecting the trend line. So this is basically what I always look at, Sha, when I'm actually trading. I just try as much as possible to put so many things together, right? I think the market is closed now. I think the market is closed now. This is actually 11, right? So, but basically this is how I do my markups. Then if I want to actually compare, or if I want to include strategy, Hourglass, right? What I do is I keep looking for possible places that it corresponds with the strategy. So for CABRAL strategy like this, you can see that most of our markups, right? Our markups were corresponding to where the strategy was drawing resistance areas, right? Look at this. It corresponded. Look at this. It corresponded. This area to a support was around this area, right? Just like that. So that's the main aim of having a strategy like this, or having market trap, is just to basically give you extra confirmations. And that's the main reason why I love Hourglass so much. I actually enjoy market trap, right? But too bad I don't have Hourglass currently. What I have now is just DCX. I'm subscribed to the DCX package, and I have levels as an add-on. Even I would have shown you guys the extra confirmation. So, right, but the rule of what they call it, double blessing strategy, have your markups and what? Have your extra confirmation, right? Now, if you're actually supposed to be selling, you're supposed to have at least what? 4 confirmations for a sell. Your second currency is supposed to be stronger than what? Than the first currency. I don't know why this is hanging. I don't know why this is hanging. All right, let me see if I can refresh. Let me see what's gonna happen. I don't know why this is hanging. Is it possible for my currency strength meter to contradict the market trend? Yes, it's possible now. It's very, very possible. It's very, very possible. You can be in a downtrend and your currency strength meter, euro just gains what? Strength higher than USD. It doesn't mean that, oh, we should start looking out for buys now. Even if you're looking out for buys, that buy is not going to be a long-term buy, right? It might be something like this. It might just buy for a while, then it's still back to what? Doing what it's supposed to do. So that's why you always need to what? To pay attention to your trend, stick to the trend. So if I can spot a clear uptrend, what I'll be doing is I'll be making sure that the currency strength meter is in a favor for me to buy. Now, I'll be also making sure that every time I spot out, I actually say, I also make sure that every time I spot out the strength, right? Every time I spot out the strength, this is what I always look out for. This is what I always look out for, right? Anytime the strength says buy, anytime the strength says buy, look for stochastic and RSI at green, right? This is what I've been using and it has been helping a lot, right? If the strength says you should sell, where's your stochastic supposed to be at? Look at stochastic, stock and RSI at red, right? So this is why I also add as an extra confirmation. This is what I also add as an extra confirmation. So while I'm going through my currency pairs, if I go to AUD JPY like this now, I see that, oh, stochastic is at the red. Let me go and check the currency strength, whether JPY, AUD JPY is for itself. That is what I just do, right? You see, AUD is stronger, JPY is what? Is weaker. So we are supposed to be buying AUD JPY. So what does that tell you? I can't buy AUD JPY till I see the stochastic and RSI come all the way to green. Then if I have my markups and I see that, okay, there's a support area here, that means what? By the time the market comes to 429, I should be looking for what? I should be looking for a buy on AUD JPY as far as the stochastic is at the green. And what? On my market trap, or my hourglass, I have what? I actually have a call arrow, right? If I actually have a call arrow, on hourglass, right? I should be considering that for what? For a buy, right? I have the call arrow. I have what? My number of points. If I have 4 points, if I have 5 points, if I have 6 points, I'm supposed to be taking that trade. Do you get? That's basically how you do this thing. Sometimes the stochastic and RSI cross down at the green. Sometimes the stochastic and RSI cross down at the green when it's supposed to buy. Exactly. This is how the stochastic works, guys, right? This is what the stochastic does. If you see it around the green area, right, it's getting set for a buy. When you see it around the green area, it's getting set for a buy. Now, once the market is buying, this is what the stochastic is doing. It's buying, right? It's buying, it's moving around here. Now, once it gets to the red, that market is now what? It's overbought. So the market will start selling any moment from now, right? So once in this red area, you start getting ready for yourself. And when it's crossing down, right? Most times, I like to get in before it even crosses down. I like to get in the trade before it crosses down, but some people like to wait, right? So on its way crossing down from this red area, that is when we are supposed to be selling, right? Look at it right now. It's crossing down the green, right? So it's getting ready for a buy. So if I see the market around a what? If I see it around a support area, if I actually see the market around a support area, I should be looking for what? I should be looking for a buy. Let me see what it's saying. Now, so must stochastic and RSI align before taking a buy or sell trade? Okay, like I said, right, in using market trap, we have we actually have different confirmations, right? If you're actually using market trap, you have different confirmations: currency strength meter, the arrow, what else? Let me actually see if I can bring this up real quick. Trading. Come on, just give me a minute. Let me see if I can pull up where I have. I wish the market didn't close, would have taken practical examples. Just hold on. Let me try and do something. All right. So let me try and do something real quick. All right. So this is what I want. Okay, coming. All right. So let me just show you guys this. So, you know, when we're actually trading Hourglass, right, we have confirmations or we have a point system that we're actually following, right? I hope you guys can see this, right? We have confirmations that we're actually following. So we talked about the currency strength meter. Now the arrow, if the currency strength meter is in favor for a buy, right, that's 1 point. The arrow is what is 2 points. If it's around the support area, that is 3 points, right? If the Bollinger Bands, if the market is around the Bollinger Bands, the green Bollinger Bands, that's a fourth confirmation, right? If the DMI says B, that is what? A fifth confirmation for buy. Now look at this rule. 3 points trade is a good trade to take. 4 points is a better trade. Now the best, or should I say the most amazing trade to take, it's 5 points and above. So I am counting out these points, right? It's not every time the RSI is going to be at what? The RSI is going to be at the green. But trust me, the most important things I look out for is the currency strength meter. What arrow am I getting, right? Is it at support or resistance? Now, Bollinger Bands, most times I don't even look at whether the market is at a Bollinger Band or not, right? I have 3 points. I don't even care if the DMI is B or S. What I'm concerned about is the stochastic. The stochastic is like, it really shows you what the market is doing. So I pay attention to the stochastic and RSI. That's the honest truth. So whether a DMI is showing me S and the currency is telling me to buy, right? All these things are just for extra confirmations, right? If I have everything in check, 7 points straight, 6 points straight, but they told you that if you have 5 points and above, right? Yes, it's you can be permitted. One of them must not be correct. It doesn't have to be correct, right? The DMI can be showing S. I really wish I could open up Hourglass, but I don't have Hourglass, right? I really wish I could show you guys that, but I don't actually have access to that, right? So maybe you can just go back to any of my previous training videos and just see that. So like I said, if it's possible, the strength might contradict your market trend and the stochastic and RSI should align. Just take it that if you're looking for a buy, I must be able to see my stochastic at green, right? Are you actually seeing what happened here? The markets came here and what? It rejected this support area. Stochastic is at green, RSI is getting to green. So this market should be coming up. I think it should actually buy any moment from now. Let me actually see 15 minutes time frame. Let me actually see 15 minutes time frame. I'll just give myself this. All right, so let's just take a look at this. So if I actually pull out this CABRAL strategy, let's see what's going to happen. So it actually gave us what? A support line around here. So if I actually see a support line around here, I actually see what? RSI at the green, stochastic at the green. On market trap, on Hourglass, I'm getting what? A call arrow. I'm actually getting a call arrow here, right? If I'm actually getting a call arrow there, then I actually know that, okay, this market is supposed to what? Make an upward movement, right? It's supposed to make an upward movement. So I'll be looking out for my buy position or my buy trade idea around 425 and okay, 429, between 429 and 425. That's the area I want to look out for my buy, right? So it's just for you to get what potential or best entries. So if the market is at this support, right? If the market is at this support and I have my stochastic still around my red, that means it's going to tell me that this market could possibly drop. The stochastic still has to drop to the green. So if the market was somewhere around here, stochastic wasn't yet at the green, that gives me an indication that the market could still drop further, right? So when the stochastic is at a green area, I now know that, okay, there's a possible, there's every possible chance that the stochastic will start doing something like this, start coming back up to the red, right? And that's where you take your buy opportunity, right? That's where you actually take your buy opportunity. So the same thing with the RSI, right? If it's around the green, there's every possibility that the RSI will make a move like this to actually start moving towards the upside, right? So you can take a trade for 3 minutes, give it some time, 1 rollover, 2 rollovers maximum, and I think you should be able to clear that trade. Now, the only reason you might not clear that trade is maybe the currency strength flips on you, or there's probably news and you're trading against the currency that has news. That should be the only reason you should lose some trades. I know a lot of people say, oh, I took this trade, right? Everything was in check and I still lost it. I don't know why it's happening. It happens, right? Most times it's not you. Your analysis is not wrong. It's just the way the market is moving around that period of time. Now, every strategy is not 100% accurate. You need to know that, right? Strategies are just to give you more profitable and winning trade ideas. So it's not supposed to work every single time. I mean, like most days I take trades, I can go 10-0 without losing a trade. It's just what the market happening in my favor, right? Some days the market are so bad that even I do my analysis, yes, 6 points trade, I still lose the trade. So you just need to have that mindset that you're not supposed to win every trade, right? But you're supposed to win more of your trades. So this is just an example. If you can look at now, right, we'll probably stay around this area for a while. And what happens? The market respected this area. It's now doing what? The market is now buying, right? So if you rolled over this trade, you should actually be in profit, right? GBPJPY, if you rolled over the trade, see, it's actually shooting back up, right? It's trying to buy. It's actually trying to buy. And let me show you guys the stochastic. Let me see if I can open it, right? I see the stochastic is trying to cross back up. See, so it's trying to cross back up. So that's basically, all right, see, it's trying to cross back up. So that's basically what you are looking for to happen in the market. So once it's around the green area, you're looking for what? You're looking for a buy opportunity, right? You're actually looking for a buy opportunity. So that is all you're simply doing when you're trading HFX. So you can see HFX is not complicated. It's just the way you look at it. And now it needs practice, right? You need to actually practice. This is GBPJPY. It's moving like that, probably because the market is closed, right? This is past 11. Market is closed. So that's why it's moving like, see, it's very, very spiky. I wouldn't advise you to trade in such condition, right? You need to allow the market open. And when the market is settled, yeah, you can start trading again. For me, if the market closes by 11, the next time I want to look at the broker, I want to trade is around 1 a.m. That's the next time I want to resume trading. 1 a.m. I give the market space. Closes by 11. I allow it to open 12, then 1. I'm looking at trading again, right? So if you can actually trade in this kind of market condition, right? It's spiking. So that's basically what is happening. I'm sure if the market was open, we would have already had this candle shooting all the way up. So you just have to use your markups, you combine it with your strategy. Hourglass, if it's telling you to buy, you take a buy. As far as your points, right? If you have up to 5 points on Hourglass, to have up to 4 points on Hourglass, you can actually what? You can actually take that trade with confidence because you're actually trading. You're actually looking out for trades that have the stochastic around the green area. If you're looking for a buy, if you have a support here, according to your markup, you mark up from the daily down to the 15 minutes, then you trade on the 5 minutes. According to your markup, it corresponds. You have a buy arrow, 4 points, 5 points, then that's it, right? You can actually make the best opportunities, taking trades like that. Look at for the sell, see what happened for the sell, right? Let's say we wanted to sell this. The market actually came all the way to the top, right? We had a resistance here. And what happened? The stochastic was actually at the red, right? Now you notice the RSI wasn't at the red, but the stochastic was there, giving you an indication that the market is overbought. It's going to start selling very soon. So you would have taken the trade around 454 area, right? Took a trade. The trade actually started selling, right? The market started selling. It actually got back to the entry again. You might have taken maybe a double up and you had the market come down. So that's basically how you can just combine your markups and your strategy. But I know that AED-JPY is supposed to go up. This market is supposed to buy. Actually supposed to buy. AED is very, very strong. So like I said, check the general trend. Oh, wow, you can see JPY is now stronger than AED, right? So it's now valid for a sell instead, right? So no wonder the market is dropping crazy like this, because the currency strength is now in favor for a sell. So currency strength meter is in fact is the most important thing you should consider. Then what your markups, just like that. Just learn how to mark up from the daily time frame. You go down to the 1 hour to the 15 minutes. You're only marking up the first and the previous candle, marking up, because if you mark up so many levels, your chart is going to be filled with lines, right? It's going to look so, in fact, you're going to be confused. You don't even know what to do, right? So most times, this is all I do. This is the way I mark up, and this is the way I trade. So like Kevin Moore would say, another important factor you should consider is timing, right? The best time to take these trade opportunities are, I don't know, those of you that have been watching your videos, can you actually tell me the best time to take the trade ideas or to enter the trades? If you've been watching videos, when are the best times to be taking the trades, right? O'clock, what else? Yeah, 1 hour is o'clock. 15, what? You're supposed to be taking it at 15, 15, 30. And the 1 hour, or you can call it o'clock. Or you can call it o'clock, right? So these are the best times to look for market reaction, right? So these are the best times to look for market reaction. So now one thing I've noticed trading HFX is that maybe I can be looking out for what? I can be looking out for a buy, right? And I enter the market. Let's say the time is 11:10, right? It's almost getting to 11:15, and I enter the market for a buy, right? When the time gets to 11:15, the market is going to react very, very hard, because these times are very, very important in the market. I don't know if you've been watching Ivan Cabral's trainings, right, on timing, right? You're also going to learn a lot from this. So if I wanted to actually take a buy, right, if AED was stronger than JPY, if I wanted to take a buy, I want to see everything in check. I want to see a buy arrow. I want to see stochastic at green. I want to see RSI at green. And once the time is around 11:15, right? Once it gets to 11:15, 11:16, that's the best time I want to actually take that trade for a buy, right? So if I also see the time around 11:30, right? If the time is close to 11:30, what am I doing? I'm waiting to see the market around a support area, right? To cause the market to go in that direction. So you're also adding timing. Timing is another factor, and timing is simply just what make the whole double blessing strategy a win-win, right? So double blessing strategy, your charting, timing, add that with what? Market trap, hourglass. That's your what? That's your double blessing strategy, right? So this is it, right? We are supposed to buy and we had the market actually move in that direction. So let me actually see if we can look for a sell example. I'm just going to do a sell example, then I'll take a few questions before I hand it over to Daniel, right? Daniel is just going to talk about number strategy real quick, and we are going to proceed. Wow, AUD and JPY is same strength. Very, very wrong currencies to trade. So I'm trying to look for something that has a sell strength. I realized that when the currency flipped, the pairs was selling even at the green. Exactly, right? So currency strength meter is very, very important, right? You don't want to joke with the currency strength meter. In fact, that's the most important factor trading HFX, right? Aside identifying your general trend, currency strength meter is also, you know that in HFX, you're actually doing something. You're actually getting into the market in the space of like very, very quickly, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, you're out of the market, right? Now, the currency strength meter flipping might not really affect Forex traders. You know, Forex traders, you trade based on overall trend. Okay, this is a downtrend. I'm looking for only sell opportunities, right? So even if, yes, the AUD is flipping stronger than the JPY for a while, guess what? The overall trend is still what is going to matter. But in HFX, please, currency strength meter, very, very important. So for a sell, let's actually look at Euro odd is for a buy. Euro is stronger than odd, right? For that's for a buy. So what you should be looking out for is GBP USD for sell. GBP USD, right? Now, so there's nothing like odd euro. The currency itself is euro odd. Look at it, euro odd. There's nothing like odd euro, right? So you need to actually know how to identify your currencies. You need to know your currencies, your major currencies, your minor currencies, your exotics, right? There's nothing like USD AUD. You can't flip it the other way, right? You can't actually flip it your own way to satisfy what you want to trade, right? It's euro odd. So for right now, euro is stronger than odd. So that's a buy. So for sell opportunities, we have GBP USD, right? We have USD stronger than GBP, right? We have GBP CADs, GBP CAD, GBP CHF. So let's actually look at this currency pairs. Then, so GBP USD, we're looking for a sell opportunity. And wow, it actually came to a resistance area, right? So if I wanted to mark up GBP USD right away, right? So once I spotted out, okay, we're supposed to be selling, I'm doing the same thing, right? I mark up the top of the week. I mark up the top of the week, right? I mark up what? The body. I mark up the bottom. Now, remember what I said the other time. We're not actually marking up the body, the bottom side of the sell candle, because that's where the market is currently at, right? So I can't mark up that point. So what I'm doing now is I'm marking up the previous candle, right? This was the highest point the previous candle got to. So I'm marking up this area, right, on the daily time frame. And I'm marking up the body of the previous candle, and I'm marking up the week as well. So once I'm done with the daily time frame, I'm dropping into the hour time frame. I'm coming to the 1 hour, right? So for the 1 hour, the previous markup has already corresponded, right? It has already touched the wick, it has touched the up part, it has touched the up part of the body. The previous candle, it has touched the base. Now I simply just add what? I add the markup to the top of what? Add the markup to the top of the chart and the candle, and yes, the high. So that's all I'm doing. So when I'm done with this, I come to 15 minutes, right? So 15 minutes, you see that it has already given us a markup for the top of this present candle. It has given us a markup for the bottom. So all I do is what? I mark up the bottom of the candle. And on this previous candle, I'm just marking up what? The wick. And at the top of this other red candle here, I'm marking up the wick. Just like this. This is what I'm actually doing. So for every currency pair I want to trade, this is what I do, right? So once I'm done with this, I go to the main time frame we should be trading on, which is the 5 minutes time frame, right? Which is the 5 minutes time frame. So once I get here, this is it. So you can see that the market came all the way to this top, hit our resistance level, and it dropped. So you can have your Ivan CABRAL strategy just to be sure, right? To confirm your markup. You can see that it gave us a resistance area where we have our own resistance area. It gave us a formal support where we had what our support lines. You see, it also gave us a markup here, right? So since GBP USD is actually for a sell, right? GBP USD, or it's actually like GBP gained 1 bar, but GBP USD is for a sell. Let's look at it that way. So what I'm supposed to be doing is, right, I'm supposed to be considering areas like ceiling. The market is here. So there's every possibility that if it gets to this point, it will hit this area and do what? And sell. That's market structure. If it gets to this point, it will hit this area and do what? And sell. So a possible area I'm looking for to actually sell is what? Is this resistance line. So I have it as what? 122. I have another resistance line here, 127. So 122 to 127 are possible entries for what? For GBP USD sell. Do you actually understand? That's how I'm getting my possible entries for GBP USD sell. 122, 127. That is how I'm getting my possible entries for a sell, right? So now this is what happens. Here's what happens. So for me to be getting a sell, I need to make sure that what? The stochastic is around the red, right? The stochastic is around the red. It's at the red area. I need to also make sure that my RSI is at the red area. So if I see my stochastic at the red area, I see the market getting to my resistance area, right? Now the currency strength meter is telling me to sell. I go on Hourglass. I go on Hourglass and I'm getting what? I'm getting the put arrow as well. I'm getting 4 points. I'm getting 5 points. That tells me that if I see the market around here, I take it for a sell. Or if the market gets to this area, I equally take it for a sell, right? If the market still shoots up to a resistance, again, I can still take it for a sell as far as what? The stochastic is at the red. Right now, the stochastic is not the red. Even if we're looking for a sell trade, right? Stochastic is not the red. So I can't actually sell anything currently. I have to wait for everything to align. Now, see how the market is reacting. Guess what? The time is what? The time is 11:30. So the market has a way of reacting to these times: 15, 30, 45, and the hour. So around 11:45 again, the market is going to react so strongly. So I'll also take advantage of that reaction if I see the market at what? At the resistance area. I see the stochastic at red. I'll be making sure that I enter the market at 11:45 or at 12 o'clock. I'm only giving an example, right? So if you want to take entries, also make sure that the market is at that area at these times, right? Now, it doesn't mean you can't take your trade by 11:35 or 11:32. You can take your trade, but for a more confirmed entry, right? Ken Remo says timing is important in HFX. So if you want to actually take these trades at these levels, then the time should be 11:15, time should be 11:30, 11:45, or 12 o'clock. So if I still want to take trades after 12, it should be what? 12:15, I should be entering a trade. 12:30, 12:45, what? 1 a.m., right? But Mount mic is unmuted. I don't know why you guys keep unmuting. All right, so, but basically markups, right? Stochastic, RSI, your arrow on Hourglass, whatever, right? You can still just mark up and make a lot of money for yourself. Trust me, right? You can still just do your markups, right? Follow your currency strength meter. You already know what to do, right? The strategies are just to give you extra confirmations, right? Precise entries. That's what the strategies are for, to enable the new person do it in an easier way, right? But once you're already used to the whole market, you're already used to your stochastic, your RSI, all these things, you can actually make a lot of money from this, right? The goal you're here is to do it, to learn how to be profitable at the end of the day, to learn how to trade, master the skill set, right? So if you're actually here, what you should be doing is to master the market, learn how to understand the market movement, learn how to markups, understand the skill set basically, so that you can start using it to make money for yourself. You don't actually depend on anybody to teach you how to trade, right? Just this little thing we've been discussing, you can actually make money from it, right? So let me actually look at the chat box and answer a couple of questions before we hand it over to Daniel. What's the setting for the stochastic and RSI, please? I think the RSI should be 511 or so. 511, length 5, the other one's 11. RSI is, I think length is 4. Question. So the reactions on those times, the market will react for a sell if it's a sell, right? It's a stronger reaction. So this is what I'm trying to say. So if I am supposed to sell, I'm supposed to sell at what? A resistance, right? I'm actually supposed to sell at a resistance, right? If I'm supposed to go in for a sell, I'm actually supposed to sell at a resistance. So now what happens if I actually see the market at a resistance at 11:30, and I know that the market reacts strongly at this period of time? That's like an extra advantage. Let me sell it from the resistance at 11:30 while the stochastic is also at the red, so that the impact on that sell is going to be what? More than me just taking a random sell at every other time. That's just the whole concept behind that, right? So idea, I hope you understand, right? I hope you actually understand that. So guys, if you actually understood every single thing we've been doing, let me just see a 7 in the chat. If you understood that, let me see a 7 in the chat. You use 50 EMA, 100 EMA, and the 200 EMA for this Ivan CABRAL strategy. For instance, if you see, no, Emmanuel, there's no 50 EMA here. There's no 50 EMA here, right? The only EMA I can recognize here is the 200 EMA. There's no 50 EMA here. 200 EMA is the only thing I can recognize. What else? So at what point will I know that the trend is going to reverse? I can't really say, right? I can't really say, but I just use the 200 EMA to actually guide me. If I see the market below the 200 EMA, I know that this is a downtrend, right? But if I see the market above the 200 EMA, I can actually consider that as an uptrend, right? Even Hourglass, if you're using Hourglass, the 200 EMA changes color. When you're in a downtrend, the EMA is actually what? Red. If you're in an uptrend, the EMA is now what? Green. So you can use the EMA to also detect the market trend, right? If the EMA is between the market, like if it's cutting through the market, that's actually consolidation, right? You can actually see something like this. At some point, the market was consolidating, right? The EMA was cutting through the market. It was passing through the market, right? It's when you see the EMA above the market, that's a clear downtrend. Now, if you actually see it beneath the market, right? Something like this, right? See the market above the EMA, right? This is a clear uptrend, right? So when it started cutting through, we started consolidating for a bit. Look at this as well. Look at the EMA was cutting through, and all we had was a consolidation. Market was moving sideways, right? The market kept moving sideways. We didn't have this upward move. This upward move. You notice the moment the market came on top the EMA, we had the upward move. Now, once the EMA is above the market, we have a downtrend. Something like this, right? Market beneath the EMA, we had a serious downtrend. So you can just use the EMA as a guide to actually know your trend, right? That's what you can actually do as well. So let me take a couple more questions there. We just end this. Mm. All right, all right. How about how about reversals? How can we know when the market will have a pullback? You can't actually know when the market will have a pullback. Or shall I say, I don't know when the market will pull back. The market will do its thing. And based on how the market is reacting, I know what to do, right? If the market is in a downtrend, serious downtrend, if the stochastic gets to the green, that means I should be expecting what? The market to go up a bit, right? Before I sell again when the stochastic is at the red. Maybe that could be a way you can look out for pullbacks. The stochastic is at this green. That means the market will move up a bit and what? Keep on selling. So you can use the stochastic for maybe for identifying pullbacks. I don't know, right? I'm not a perfect trader. So guys, you need to know that I'm learning. Every day I'm still learning. So I'm equally learning with you guys. I'm just trying to simplify it, like the way I understand it. And that's what I want to do. There's mostly a consolidation or ranging before the trend changes. Exactly, right? So there's something BTC always does, right? There's something that BTC always does. Let me try and show us this. Let me just show us this real quick. All right, so let me hide this. Now notice something. When BTC made this move down, what happened next? When BTC made this move down, what happened next? So what happened next? Right? After that downward move, consolidation, consolidation, right? Sideways movement. What happened again? What happened again? Down, came down again. What do you think happened? Consolidation, right? Moved sideways for a while before it came up. Moved sideways for a while. Impulse, right? This is just it, right? It came down again, moved sideways for a while, came up. Oh, I'm actually looking at the 5 minutes time frame. I think I should use the 1 hour time frame. Let me actually use the 1 hour time frame so we can actually see. Let me take this out and let me show you guys this. Show you guys this. All right, exactly. So this is what I'm looking for. Look at, right? So what happened is that BTC dropped from here down, it sold all the way to this area. And after it got to this area, it started doing something. Market was moving sideways, no clear direction. If the market dipped like that, you'd have been saying, oh, buy the dip, buy the dip. Guess what? It did another one again. Down. It came down and started doing what? Consolidation. Started moving sideways again, right? See, no clear direction. Just sideways movement. Sideways movement, sideways movements. Right now, we are still in a consolidation, right? We are still in a consolidation. Currently, as we speak, we are still in consolidation. See, sideways movement, no clear direction. It's not like back then, like when you could see the market doing a move like this. Oh, BTC was just going up. People were entering buy on their brokers, making money. Right now, we don't have a clear direction. So, in fact, buying or selling is not really advisable. That's why you have swiper and scalper. You're just being able to catch the quick moves, make your money and what, and you leave. So to identify, you asking when do you know when the market is about to change trend? The market will do an impulsive move, make some consolidation, and after that, what, it breaks out and what, another impulsive move. So I think you should do you should actually do a study, right, on market structure. You're actually going to understand all these things. Just try and do a brief study on market structure. Go on YouTube or go on your academic videos, look for a video that's talking about market structure, and you're actually going to understand it. So What else are we talking about? Let me just answer the other questions and we'll be done. Is there any use for the Bollinger Bands? Yes, there's a use for the Bollinger Bands. It also helps you to indicate to detect the market direction, right? Bollinger Bands is considered as it's actually considered as a, should I say, a rubber band? Should I use that word? Bollinger Band, consider it as a rubber band, right? There's the Bollinger Band, right? Let me make this green, right? We also have the Bollinger Band at the top, right? So if I'm actually making this red, guess what? Now, if you have the market moving like this, gets to the top. If I make the market this color, right? If it gets to the top, what am I expecting? I'm expecting the Bollinger Band to catapult the market back, right? If it gets to the green, I'm expecting it to do what? Like this, right? So it's just like an extra confirmation. Just like an extra confirmation. Just like this. Now, if I turn on this CABRAL strategy, you're also going to notice something. You're also going to notice something, that while the market came down to the bottom Bollinger Bands, what happened? Market reacted. It shot all the way to the top. It touched the top Bollinger Band. It came down just like that. So it is also an indicator showing you the trend of the market, just like that. See, it's above. The market is above the middle Bollinger Band, right? We have the middle Bollinger Band, this black line. The market is above the middle one. It indicates what? An uptrend, right? If it's below the middle band, it indicates what? A downtrend. See, it's just below the middle band. So if it's actually moving up, down, it's consolidating. You can just use the Bollinger Band to give yourself extra confirmation, basically, right? So just one more question, guys, and we shall be done. One more question and we're done. Wally, this means even if the currency strength meter says buy, but the market is below the EMA, you should go for a sell. That is not what I said. If this currency strength meter says buy, right, and you have your stochastic at what? At the green, you have your support line there. You can actually buy, right? You can actually buy. Now, in trading HFX, if you're trading with market trap or Hourglass, you're trading based on confirmations. Remember what I said. All these things are just confirmations. If you look at number 8 is also a confirmation. It's an extra confirmation, right? Take calls or buys when the market is above the EMA. Take puts or sells when the market is below the EMA. All these things are confirmations. These are 8 points to look out for. But if you're able to get 4 points, that is a better trade to take. If you're able to get 5 points, that's a great trade. Now, what does this mean? Every single confirmation must not be present on what is in front of you. You must not see all at a time. But once you're able to spot out, 4 points trade, 5 points, you're good to go. You can take the trade, right? But the most important things to take note of is your currency strength meter. Chris, can this be married with Mamba strategy? No. Show me how to add the CABRAL strategy. Okay, I'm going to show you guys that. Okay, so if I cancel this, let me delete it and let me actually delete all the drawings. So if I wanted to add CABRAL strategy, what I'm doing is I come up to the top where it says indicators. So I click that and I just search CABRAL, right? This is what I'm searching. CABRAL strategy, binary 2. This is it. So once I click that, it gives me this. It already has the EMAs. That's all you're doing, right? So that's everything you're doing. Yes, before any new trend occurs, there must be consolidation. Exactly. Exactly. I've experienced it many times. I bought, but it kept selling, and the stochastic exactly. All right, so guys, finally, if you understood everything I said, drop some sevens. If you actually got value, drop some sevens. So we can actually I just hand it over to Daniel real quick so that he just come show you guys the Mamba strategy. He's going to answer some few questions you actually have, right? Those of you that have few questions for the Mamba strategy, I think next week we can actually look at Web Slinger. Evan CABRAL strategy does not have a setting. Just search for Evan CABRAL strategy. Just go to your indicator, search for Evan CABRAL. You see it is already set up. There's no setting for it, right? This is it. So one thing you guys should know is that you don't want to depend on this, right? Don't have the mindset of depending on this. This is just I just use this thing to what? To confirm my own markup. Learn how to mark up charts by yourself, right? Daily time frame, 1 hour, 15.5, right? Learn how to mark up on your own. And once you've been able to mark up on your own, put this on to confirm what? Your markup, right? So something like this is when I would have been considering a sell. Look at the RSI came to the red, stochastic came to the red. We had it at what? A resistance area. This is where I would have entered what? A sell. Do you get? And I've actually taken a sell here. But I've actually taken a sell, right? So assuming I had a markup around this area, and the market came there, stochastic was at red, RSI was at red, my currency strength meter is telling me to sell, I would have actually taken a sell there. So Evan CABRAL strategy doesn't have what? A setting, all right? So guys, that's basically how you can mark up. That's how you can spot out good entries, right? Amazing entries for your HFX trades. So once you spot out a trade like this, your trade should be for 3 minutes, within the range of 3 to 5 minutes, right? Then rollovers, maximum 2 rollovers. If you still lose the trade, guess what? Leave it. Look for another currency pair. Don't go and revenge trade, right? Don't say, oh, I want to make my money back. Let me still enter a sell. It will sell, it will sell. Once you lose 2 rollovers on that trade, on that currency pair, look for another currency. Don't force your trade, right? Don't always force your trade. So that is that for the chart markup class. So I'm actually going to do it. I'm actually going to stop recording the call. I'm going to stop recording right away.